Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. It is true that we allow professionals to do their job because they are, that's why they're professionals. But what do you do when you see the professionals and the professionals, according to your interpretation of the situation, don't think that they're really doing their job in a professional way? At least you raise the question, and obviously you ask questions and wait for clarifications, correct? Correct. But what if the situation is so obvious that makes you think that maybe the professionals are either not very well prepared, or maybe there's something else, because it can't escape the professional's keen eye in observing certain things that we, the rubble, are able to observe. I'm talking about Russia's maneuvers of nuclear vessels. So Russia is making certain kind of strategic maneuvers with their warships capable of carrying nuclear weapons. And I wonder what kind of defense mechanism we have, the United States of America, and I'm talking about the military. So I think that's concerning, but let's see how these guys interpret this move from the Russian part. So far, this kind of maneuvers, were interpreted and laughed at and ridiculed. And I don't think that is a professional way of doing something like that in this kind of situation. I don't think that's proper. But hey, let's see. This article comes from the New Voice of Ukraine from today, February 14th, 2023. Russia deploying nuclear missile carriers in Arctic for first time since collapse of USSR, Norwegian intelligence reports. Now, without going further than this for now, what do you think? Should anybody be concerned? And if yes, if no, it's clear. And then you're going to say, okay, why not? And I would like to hear a justification, a logical justification that will make me or the weasels around me calm down. Not that I'm stressed or anything, but it seems like it can't be but two options here. You are concerned or you're not concerned. If you're not concerned, tell me why. If you are concerned, tell me what are you going to do about it. Maybe there are some other ones, but I think these are the main ones. So you're not concerned. I would like to know why you're not concerned that these guys, the bad people, right? The crazy people that, rape everybody, destroy civilian infrastructure. They're terrorists according to the Western free world. So then what makes you think that these guys doing this are not serious about it and they just, bluff? I would like to know that. To calm me down, I think that's my right to know that, because that's why I pay you. All right? And that's your duty. Second one, after all, you are under my, you exist because of me. Any Department of Defense exists because there's a country, and a country exists because there's people. All right? So the same thing with the bank and businesses. The bank, if there's no banks around, the businesses are continuing to do business and survive and be okay. So that's why a bank is not more important than a business or an individual. But the things got the other way around nowadays. Without banks, nobody can move. The bank is the more important thing. I don't think so. It's like a host. If I have a flea on me, the flea is alive just because of me. The flea, okay, sucks my blood or whatever it does. But if the flea is around, out, I can live with or without the flea. The flea can't live without me. So that means I'm more important than that flea. So same here. And in the case there is a concern regarding, it should be a concern with these crazies, right? Having those ships deployed in the Arctic Sea. I would like to know what they do with it, with this information. Remember, first time since the collapse of the Soviet Union. Is that a big deal? I think it is. But hey, let's see, maybe they explained to us in the article. So three 3 vessels belong to Russia's Northern Fleet. The report noted that during the Soviet era, Northern Fleet warships regularly went to sea with nuclear weapons. But this is the first time the modern Russian Federation has done the same. So is this an escalation? I think so. It is a threat? I think so. It is the bluff? I don't know. But based on the information these guys give me, I don't think it's a bluff. They, after all, invaded Ukraine and they massacred everybody there, so I don't think that could be a bluff. That means they're consistent in their aggression. So what makes me think that this is a bluff? Because they're afraid of us? I don't think so. They fight us in Ukraine. Is not fighting the Ukrainians per se. Not per se, but the Ukrainians are fighting with their blood, but the rest comes from the West. I mean, in the big scheme of things, it's not Russia against Ukraine. That's what I'm trying to say. It's Russia against NATO, and NATO is United States of America, and the rest are just weasels. Now, and I'm quoting, the key part of the nuclear potential is on the submarines and surface ships of the Northern Fleet, the Norwegian intel noted. And I'm quoting again, tactical nuclear weapons are a particularly serious threat in several operational scenarios in which NATO countries may be involved, end quote. The NIS added that Russia also has submarine capabilities, anti-satellite weapons, and cyber capabilities that could threaten Norway and the alliance. How come they don't threaten China or, I don't know, Bangladesh or South America or other countries? How come it's only these guys? Because it's obvious who's against who here. Now, and I'm quoting, the ongoing tensions between Russia and the West mean that Russia will continue to pose the greatest nuclear threat to NATO and therefore to Norway, end quote, the agency emphasized. And I'm quoting again, it cannot be ruled out that a localized war could escalate into a wider conflict with direct military involvement of Russia, the United States, NATO, and Norway. Okay, well, it seems you guys from Norway are not infected with stupidity yet. You know what I mean? Now, let's see what you're going to do about it. Probably going to say, we're going to smack you, Russia, over your beak if you make your slightest move of aggression. And Russia will say, yeah, okay, how are you going to do it, Norway, before we blow you up or after we blow you up? Because you cannot do anything to us. NATO can do, United States can do, but not you. So yeah, keep talking tough. Let's see where that gets you, basically. Now, the report also states that Russia will maintain, modernize, and develop its nuclear arsenal, but no significant changes in Russian nuclear doctrine are expected in the coming years. In December 2022, Russian President Vladimir Putin said that the threat of nuclear war is growing. He didn't say he would do anything. The threat, which could be from both sides, is just escalation. I think he's right about that one. Ukraine's defense intelligence previously stated that it considers the threat of Russia's use of tactical nuclear weapons against Ukraine to be very high. At the same time, according to Ukraine's spy chief Kirill Budanov, 35-year-old Kirill Budanov, spy chief. All right, Russia will not launch a nuclear strike in the near future. Well, if you are winning, if you know what I mean, if you are winning, then they might use that, and they're losing. Now you say, what the hell? Yeah, if you're winning, how can you win? So we get the same point, winning with a country that has nuclear weapons. Unless the leadership is not going to use it, but we know the leadership could very well use it because they're crazies, we're told. And terrorists don't really care for human life, right? Correct. And a lot of terrorists also commit suicide, correct? Correct. So could these guys be suicidal with their arsenal? I don't know. Should we take that risk into consideration? Definitely. So what's going on here? What are these guys moving in the North Sea after, what, 30 years? 32 years or so? Why is that? Well, I think it's because also they moved into the Black Sea with a new frigate yesterday, 2 submarines ready with caliber cruise missiles on. They also have drills or head drills with the newest ship with hypersonic missiles that they sent to South Africa, again, around the world, well, you can say, well, it's just, threats, nothing happens. How are you so certain? And why are you so certain? I'm talking about the Americans. This is the Norwegians. I didn't hear the Americans yet saying anything. And it's kind of like strange. Because let's make it a little bit clearer for whomever has doubts. Let's say you have a household, a building, and you are really at a certain kind of point with your neighbor. The neighbor has bazookas, you have bazookas, but he keeps the bazookas inside of the house. And all of a sudden, your neighbor that you are very much I don't want to say at war, but you have big problems. You want to basically destroy him, and according to your interpretation, they want to destroy you. So it's a mutual desire of taking care of one another if they don't get along, and we don't get along. And all of a sudden, your neighbor starts patrolling with his kids and wife around your house with bazookas. Should it be any concern for you? Or just, they're just playing. They're just, going for a walk with bazookas. All right? And the bazooka can blow your little house in 3 shots, no problem. And you can blow it after that or whatever you do, but tell me if you would not feel a little bit concerned. And you would explain everybody else around you, why don't you do anything about it? Because the people will ask you, hey, Daddy, what's going on here? Are you going to do anything? Gigi is outside with Mary and the 2 weasels. What are you going to do? And I say, well, don't worry, they will not do it. I know Mikey. Mike is a good guy. Really? No, he's a terrorist, you said. He's this and this and that. So it doesn't make sense. What can they do? Well, they either are certain that the Russians will not do it because they communicate, and that then makes this a show, or I don't know what to tell you. If you're not concerned with this kind of threat, then how do you know that the guy is not going to use it? After I portray him as evil, this, that, and he can blow me up, I'm okay, I'm just relaxed. You're like, he's not going to shoot. Why? How do you know that? Because you've been around the block a few times? Possibly, but if that is a loose cannon, he's a terrorist, right? All that you portrayed him to be, and maybe he is, I don't know. Whatever you say. But if that's the assessment of that guy, I think people should be very concerned about it. But only the Norwegians do a little bit, but I didn't see any we're going to do this, we're going to do that. So what do? Maybe the first thing you should do, that's my take, go and talk with Mikey, Gigi, or Gigi talk to Mikey or whomever. Hey, what's going on? Let's sit down and talk. But that means you treat your neighbor as an equal. But if you don't want to treat your neighbor as an equal, you think that the neighbor should kiss your toes, then yep, he's going to go around you patrolling with his bazooka, his wife, and his kids. And you're going to be just relaxed because you know he's not going to shoot. All right, have a nice sleep. I don't think the Russians will do anything at this point, but definitely they are positioning themselves. And in a global strategic mindset, that doesn't look good at all. But hey, these guys are professionals and they know best. We are just a rabble, and go to work, pay your taxes, consume, and watch TV. And drink your beer. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.